This is Kimsey. Yes, sir. I understand.
Don't go outside or even to the restroom. I'll have a car there in a hot minute.
Okay.
When you pick up the phone for a call, we usually never think that it'll be the last conversation. We usually don't prepare ourselves mentally for the goodbye. We usually don't expect that the voice on the other end is about to become a memory forever. Some calls end with a smile, but deep down inside, there's tears. Some calls end with the boom of gunfire, the harsh clash of metal, the piercing screams of people. Those calls start out totally normal, but it's that very normality that leaves a haunting echo. Because just seconds before hanging up, there's a tragic accident, a trigger pulled, a heart-wrenching cry, and the stories I'm about to tell you are about those haunting moments, the last calls of 35 famous black people before they died. 35. Eric Dolphy. Charles, I've never touched any harmful stuff. Eric Dolphy was one of the boldest minds in modern jazz, a multi-instrumentalist with thinking way beyond the norms, who took jazz out of its ruts and left a deep mark on music history. On the night of June 29, 1964, around 2 a.m., in a small hotel room in West Berlin, the dim street light filtered through the thin curtain. Dolphy sat on the edge of the bed, breathing heavily, throat dry, sweat soaking his back. He felt his whole body burning up like his blood vessels were tightening and scorching his organs from the inside. He staggered out to the hallway where there was an old payphone. With a trembling hand, he picked up the receiver and dialed back to the U.S. On the other end was Charles Mingus. Dolphy's voice was hoarse, broken, speaking while taking deep breaths. He talked about the show running longer than expected, making him tired, about feeling his body worn out and not responding to him anymore, about the local doctors looking at him with suspicious, cold eyes, not believing what he said. Every word was heavy with worry. Mingus reassured him, promised to arrange to fly over to see Dolphy as soon as possible. But on this end, Dolphy just sighed, as if he knew time wasn't on his side. Then, his voice got really weak. There was a short silence with only rapid breathing. Then Dolphy's voice drifted off in resentment. "Charles, I've never touched any harmful stuff." As soon as the words ended, Mingus heard the receiver drop to the tile floor. The call ended with Mingus's panicked shouts.
Right after that, Eric Dolphy was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
But instead of getting the basic tests, instead of an insulin shot that could have saved his life, he was left on the bed, with the doctors assuming he overdosed on drugs. A black jazz musician unconscious in their minds could only be that. Actually, from the afternoon before, Dolphy had felt unusual signs and went to see doctors, but those doctors also thought he was just having normal reactions from using stimulants. So when Dolphy passed out, the doctors just waited for the drugs to wear off, watching him slip into a coma with cold indifference. His blood sugar kept rising, wearing down his already exhausted body. It wasn't until late afternoon that day that the doctor's mistake was discovered. A super strong dose of insulin was injected, the strongest ever used in the U.S. up to that point. Dolphy's body couldn't handle the shock. Blood pressure dropped fast, heart rhythm went haywire. Just seconds later, Eric Dolphy's heart stopped. He passed at 36, not because of a wild lifestyle like the doctor's prejudice, but because of a deadly misconception. After that, friends like Jockey Bayard and Charles Mingus spoke out together, accusing the discriminatory attitude that turned a treatable illness into a death sentence. The 2 a.m. call preserved Dolphy's honor, but couldn't save his life. 34. Little Willie John. James, if I go tonight, tell Mom. Little Willie John was the voice that laid the foundation for modern soul, the one who turned fever into a phenomenon, directly influencing a bunch of big names and leaving an indelible mark on American music history.
On the night of May 25, 1968, around 11 p.m., The solitary confinement area of Walla Walla Prison was sunk in silence.
Only the clacking of the guards' shoes echoing in the hallway, mixed with the raspy coughing from a small concrete cell.
In the darkness, little Willie John lay curled up on the cold floor, body burning with pneumonia. He was skin and bones, sweat drenching his prison shirt. After begging multiple times, he was allowed to use the rare payphone in the holding area, a brief exception because his health was at rock bottom. On the other end was James Brown. Little Willie John's voice was hoarse by then, broken, constantly interrupted by coughing fits that tore at his throat. He didn't beat around the bush, no time for that. Even though he wanted to, he couldn't talk about how miserable the days in solitary were, couldn't mention the brutal beatings from other inmates or the so-called order keepers. He couldn't talk about asking for meds and getting silence in return. Between the broken sentences, he could only express fear. Fear of dying in prison from pneumonia, dying quietly, dying forgotten. James Brown tried to reassure him, said he'd contact a lawyer first thing in the morning to demand the prison treat little Willie John's pneumonia. But on this end, little Willie John didn't have the strength left to hope in that promise. His voice lowered, trembling, like he was talking to himself more than the listener. "James, if I go tonight, tell Mom." Little Willie John didn't finish the sentence before a rough hand yanked the receiver from him. The call cut off abruptly, leaving heavy beeps on the other end.
The next morning, when the solitary cell door opened, little Willie John was unconscious on the floor, as you see here.
The official record says he died of a heart attack. But James Brown didn't believe that conclusion. James knew before dying, little Willie John had severe pneumonia, was in solitary, not getting proper medical care. The mysterious disappearance of autopsy reports and hospital records from the Washington State Department of Corrections files cast a suspicious fog over this death. It wasn't just a cruel end for a talented singer at 30, but proof of a prison system's brutality ready to abandon the lives of black men. 33. Z.Z. Hill. Baby, my heart, it's... Z.Z. Hill was one of the most beloved blues soul voices, the one who brought street music to the charts, leaving a string of smash hits and deep influence on generations of artists after. On April 27, 1984, in Dallas, around 6 p.m., Z.Z. Hill was driving home after a show. The road ahead was almost empty, just the blazing sunset shining down. The leg that got hurt in a car accident 2 months before was aching again. Doctors had told him to rest, but the packed performance schedule and signed contracts didn't allow it. He kept standing on stage for hours each day, traveling non-stop, enduring the pain without knowing that inside his body a blood clot was quietly forming and growing from the old wound. When he pulled up to the small wooden house in Dallas, Z.Z. Hill sat back in the car, taking a few deep breaths, like to let the pain settle and gather strength to get out. Right then, the old-style mobile phone on the seat rang. It was his wife calling. He picked up right away, voice tired but still cheerful, still carrying excitement. He said he sang great today, like always, voice on point, crowd responding warmly. He said tomorrow he'd start resting, be home more. He even mentioned the beach trip this weekend they'd talked about for a while. On the other end, his wife smiled brightly, told him to come in for dinner and rest. Tonight, she'd have to work overtime, be home late. That call was normal, like hundreds before between the couple. Z. Hill chatted while getting out of the car and walking toward the house. Then suddenly, his voice broke. Soft groans came between rapid breaths. Baby, my heart, it's... Z. Hill didn't finish before his hand dropped. The phone slipped from his hand, thudding to the ground, only his wife's voice echoing helplessly, calling his name over and over. In that moment, the blood clot from the old wound had moved to his heart, causing an acute heart attack. Z.Z. Hill tried to open the door in panic, but his trembling hands couldn't find the lock. Seconds later, he collapsed right on the doorstep, eyes wide open, staring at the sky, turning deep red at dusk.
His worried wife alerted neighbors, and despite paramedics arriving quickly, ZZ Hill died.
32. Gerald Levert. Mom, I'm so tired. I love you. Good night. Gerald Levert was one of the most emotional R&B voices. He was a songwriter, producer, and performer with huge influence, leaving a deep mark on contemporary music. Early morning, November 10, 2006, around 1 a.m., at Gerald's home in Cleveland, Ohio, the bedroom was pitch black, just a faint yellow light casting on the wall. Gerald was lying in bed, whole body heavy, chest tight from pneumonia. The pain after surgery woke him in the middle of the night, but his mind was still foggy from the mix of meds he'd been taking nonstop for a month. To keep working, to stand strong on stage, he relied on prescription painkillers like Vicodin, Percocet. To sleep, he added Xanax. To breathe easier on changing weather days, he took allergy meds. All those drugs were legal, prescribed, but when stacked on each other in a body weakened by pneumonia, they became a dangerous mix. In a half-awake state, Gerald reached for the bedside phone. He called his mom. His voice was sleepy, a bit slurred, slower than usual, but still warm. He complained to her about the pain making him fall apart. On the other end, his mom woken in the night, heart aching with worry. When she heard Gerald say he was okay, just suddenly missed her, she told him to rest, don't push too hard. Gerald vaguely agreed and promised to call back when clearer headed. The call didn't last long. As he was about to hang up, Gerald whispered slowly, like drifting to sleep, "Mom, I'm so tired. I love you. Good night." His voice faded, then stopped. The call ended peacefully. The phone was set down by the nightstand. Gerald closed his eyes again, sinking into sleep, with breaths getting lighter. After that, the mix of painkillers, sedatives, and allergy meds kept working silently on his body. Breathing slowed. Heart weakened. Hours later, he passed in his sleep on the familiar bed. The next morning, when family found him, it was too late. The autopsy confirmed death from acute drug intoxication, result of combining too many prescriptions while his body was weak. 31. Michelle Thomas. Malcolm, elephant juice? I love you. Michelle Thomas was a beloved TV actress, making a deep impression as Myra on Family Matters. She brought a bright, energetic image, but that's why people regret it even more when tragedy hit her. From May 1997, at just 29, Michelle Thomas started battling a rare cancer called DSRCT. She was a lifelong vegetarian, no alcohol, no smoking. You could say she lived a model life. So when she got the diagnosis, it felt like a bolt from the blue. Michelle had a very ordinary woman's dream, to be a mom. That thought made her hesitate on aggressive surgeries that could extend life, but take away her ability to have kids. Her decision wasn't from ignorance, but because the desire to be a mom overpowered fear of death. And so the best treatment window passed. The disease quietly grew and spread. Even so, Michelle kept working. Even when her health hit alarm levels, she still showed up regularly on the set of The Young and the Restless. Thick makeup and studio lights could hide her pale face, but couldn't hide that her body was rotting from inside. On the evening of December 23, 1998, Michelle had to be hospitalized for dangerous signs. Around 9 p.m., in a stark white room at Memorial Sloan Kettering. In New York, she lay still on the bed, breathing faintly. The cancer had spread everywhere. In her last lucid minutes, Michelle asked a nurse to help make a call. She called Malcolm Jamal Warner, her ex-boyfriend, who understood her better than anyone. Michelle's voice was soft, broken by sobs. She cried, talking about her unfulfilled dream of motherhood, about her last days trying her best, but always feeling it wasn't enough. On the other end, Malcolm went silent, voice choked, trying to comfort her that tomorrow would be better. Michelle knew her condition better than anyone. She no longer expected a tomorrow. Before hanging up, she gave a weak smile. "Malcolm, elephant juice, I love you." After saying that, her hands relaxed, eyelids heavy, closing in exhaustion. Michelle Thomas took her last breath right before Christmas Eve. She couldn't wait for a miracle. 30. Bison Dele. "Sis, Miles is acting weird. I see him looking at me." Bison Dele, former NBA star with an unusual personality, shocked the sports world by turning his back on a multi-million contract to chase freedom. No one understood why he chose the ocean, adventure journeys, leaving the lights and fame at his peak. Afternoon of July 7, 2002, around 3 p.m., the yacht Hakuna Matata drifted slowly off Tahiti. Sun beating down on the deck, sea wind blowing dry and rough on the face, only the waves gentle, lapping steadily like lulling to sleep. In that peaceful scene, Bison Dele held the satellite phone, calling his sister back in the U.S. His voice was excited then. He talked about free, comfortable days, about feeling life slow down after years of fierce clashes on the court. He mentioned Serena Carlin. His girlfriend along on the voyage, Captain Bertrand Saldo, plans to anchor at the next island. He also passed greetings from his brother, Miles Daybird, to his sister. Everything in the call painted a beautiful travel picture. But then Dele's voice suddenly dropped. He deliberately lowered it, like afraid someone would hear. "Sis, Miles is acting weird. I see him looking at me." The last words of the chat weren't fully transmitted, unclear if from spotty signal or something blocking Dele. In that brief moment, unease surged in Dele's sister's heart on the other end. Right after, strange sounds came, rapid footsteps on the deck. Then a blast tore the air. The phone dropped from Dele's hand, clattering on the deck, buzzing. The line stayed open a few seconds, but now just wind. The call ended, and that was the last time Bison Dele was heard alive. For a month after, Hakuna Matata vanished. When the yacht was found, the ocean had swallowed the truth. On deck, forensic traces showed scattered clues, bloodstains, gunpowder residue. But no bodies, so no complete explanation, just the sense that a massacre happened on that boat. Later investigations pointed straight at Dele's brother, Miles Daybird. Miles was caught forging Dele's signature to buy $152,000 in gold. Not huge compared to Dele's wealth, but enough to expose motive. Jealousy of fame, greed for money, envy of his brother's free life had built up long in Miles. But until Miles Daybird died from insulin overdose and not using asthma meds, police couldn't charge because bodies and weapon vanished in the sea. 29. Paul Williams. Brother, believe what you see. Paul Williams was one of the original pillars of the Temptations, the voice that helped shape the soul of the legendary group, the one behind a string of hits that shook a whole generation of soul music lovers. Night of August 17, 1973, Detroit sunk in stillness. Around 4 a.m., an old car parked on a dark roadside under spotty yellow streetlight. Inside, Paul Williams sat alone. He wore only swim trunks, skin cold, body drained from sickle cell anemia that plagued him for years. His left hand gripped a broken bottle, sharp glass reflecting dim light from outside. His right hand trembled, holding the phone, dialing a close friend in the Temptations, Eddie Kendricks. His voice hoarse, slurred. He'd drunk himself blackout thinking about broke months, piling debts, feeling abandoned. Paul called Eddie to vent about fearing the future, fearing no more stage chances, fearing no strength to sing, fearing being forgotten as the group moved on without him. Eddie on the other end tried to calm Paul, told him to go home, said everything would be okay. But those words seemed useless. Under the alcohol, Paul started saying nonsense, unconnected. And the last thing he said to Eddie was, "Brother, believe what you see." The call ended without goodbye, just the abrupt hang-up. Minutes later, a gunshot rang in the car, sharp, tearing the night. When police arrived, Paul Williams was dead. The bullet entered from the left, but the gun was in his right hand. Yet police concluded he sought his own end. Of course, scene details made Paul's family and friends unable to accept that sloppy conclusion. A right-handed person could hardly shoot their left temple that way. The broken bottle was also on the left, like dropped in a struggle. No satisfying explanation for body position, gun placement, and Paul's words to Eddie before dying. Paul's loved ones believed that night he wasn't alone in the car. They believed fatigue, illness, and bankruptcy might have pushed him to a fragile state, but not the final trigger pull. Though family and friends requested deeper investigation multiple times, the case closed on paper with the unchanged conclusion. 28. Ben Wilson. Mom, ambulance, I don't want to die yet, but I can't wait anymore. Ben Wilson, nicknamed Benji, was the brightest high school basketball star in America, Chicago's hope symbol. He was even seen as NBA's future. Evening of November 20th, 1984, around 8 p.m., Englewood area, Chicago. Cold, wind howling through dark streets of the black neighborhood. A small bump happened on the road, breaking the night silence with some arguing. No one expected right after a sharp gunshot. Ben Wilson, just 17, collapsed on the sidewalk. Witnesses scattered in panic, leaving the kid alone, gasping, eyes wide in pain and fear. Ben fell right near a payphone booth on the corner. He pulled himself up, inserted a coin, and dialed with shaking hands. Everyone thought he'd call police or ambulance, but on the other end, his mom picked up. Ben's voice choked with sobs. "Mom, I got shot. It hurts so bad. Mom." His mom's cries echoed through the phone. She hurriedly asked the street where Ben was shot, told him to hold on, ambulance on the way. She had to hang up to call for help. But time didn't wait. 10th minute passed. Ben started feeling cold, whole body shivering. 20th minute, his breathing weakened. Eyelids couldn't open anymore. At some point, Ben slid to the ground, head against the booth, hand still gripping the receiver. He mumbled unconsciously, "Mom, ambulance, I don't want to die yet, but I can't wait anymore." On the other end, no response. 40 minutes. Ben lay 40 minutes on the freezing sidewalk with no one caring. When the ambulance finally arrived, Ben barely had strength to open his eyes. Too much blood loss, he was rushed onto a stretcher. His mom got there minutes after the ambulance left. The issue was rigid rules. The ambulance took him to St. Bernard Hospital, which lacked a trauma center to handle such a dangerous gunshot. In ER, doctors did all they could, but Ben didn't have strength left to pull through. Ben Wilson died that night. His death proved a society's failure. 40 minutes wait, a rigid healthcare system, and an unsuitable hospital. Benji, Chicago's pride, lost to the slowness and injustice of life-saving infrastructure. 27. Len Bias. Dad, my heart, I can't breathe. Len Bias was a shining college basketball star, talent icon with high expectations. He was drafted into NBA amid cheers, seen as American basketball's bright ray. In 1986, Len Bias became the name all over papers, but not for sports achievements, for a death too quick, too sudden. 2 days after being drafted into NBA, Bias threw a celebration night in excited vibes. Laughter echoed through his dorm at University of Maryland. Bias felt euphoric for stepping into his life's biggest dream. He used powder cocaine to celebrate. No one expected that decision led to tragedy. Early morning, June 19, 1986, around 6 a.m., in the mostly empty dorm, friends mostly gone. Len Bias decided to call his dad on the wall-mounted phone, and then his voice still had the youthful cheer of a teen just hitting glory's peak. He told family tomorrow he'd rest and come home, show the trophy. He said he'd buy a new house soon. On the other end, his dad laughed big, incredibly proud of his son. He asked more about the team, upcoming contract, future opening ahead for Bias. But joy didn't last. Suddenly, Bias collapsed to the floor. Body convulsed, sweat poured, chest-like squeezed. His voice changed completely, breaths rapid, words broken. "Dad, my heart. I can't breathe." Sounds on the other end became chaotic. Bias's heaving breaths hit his dad's ears, panicking him. But before he could ask details, the call cut off. When friends heard stuff falling and rushed in, Len Bias lay still. He died from cocaine overdose, just 2 days after becoming NBA's new hope. More painful, his death was quickly politicized. Though Bias used powder cocaine, politicians blew it up to link his death to crack cocaine, creating a panic wave across America. 26. Fats Navarro. Dizzy, take my place with it. Fats Navarro, Dizzy Gillespie's biggest rival in modern jazz, was a trumpet genius who shook New York's stages. Bold playing, unique blowing technique, and creativity put him among those shaping the genre. In 1950, when Fats Navarro's name meant sold-out nights at Birdland, tuberculosis started gnawing his breaths. Heroin eroded his will, wasting him body and soul. Night of July 7, 1950, around 2 a.m., in a damp rented apartment in New York, Fats Navarro sprawled on a makeshift bed, chest heaving hard, his whole body exhausted, but he couldn't sleep. He reached for the bedside phone. Fingers trembling, dialing, Navarro called Dizzy Gillespie, stage rival, but one of few who truly understood him off stage. When the other end picked up, annoyed from being woken, Navarro's voice hoarse, but sparked a bit of excitement. "Hey, remember me?" Dizzy was surprised, silent a moment, recognizing Navarro's voice. Dizzy meant to ask if something serious, since it's middle of night, but couldn't interrupt Navarro's nonstop talk. Navarro kept going despite gasping breaths. He mentioned the last Birdland show, said each note blown felt like being choked, but he went on stage, knowing nothing else but trumpet. Dizzy wanted to snap at the sleep disturber, but thought Navarro seemed off. So Dizzy softened, advised calm, said things would be fine, now go sleep. Navarro listened but didn't reply, just coughed harshly. Then a long silence minutes. When Dizzy lost patience, Navarro spoke, whispering like wind, "Dizzy, take my place with it." The call stopped there, Dizzy not asking what it was, but instinct told Dizzy it'd be their last talk. Hours later, as New York's still dark, Fats Navarro took his last breath. Tuberculosis, infection, and heroin ended his life at 26, leaving the trumpet silent in the corner with a note. "Give it to Dizzy, 25. Thomas McCall Ford. Baby, tell the kids, their dad loves them." Thomas Michael Ford was a beloved comedy face as Tommy on the sitcom Martin, bringing laughs to millions of American families. He was a hard-working, low-key artist who always kept an optimistic image in public. Night of October 7, 2016, around 10 p.m., in a recovery room in Los Angeles, fluorescent lights flickering overhead, white light shining on Thomas McCall Ford's worn face. The knee surgery seemed to end well, but soon after, his body reacted violently. An abdominal aortic aneurysm suddenly burst, blood flooding the cavity like a flood. The ventilator worked overtime for his weakened lungs. Thomas felt his body declining, but doctors hadn't noticed anything wrong yet. While still alert, he reached, signaling the nurse toward the phone on the table, his hand too weak to lift it. Then the nurse helped call his wife. The wife answered on the first ring, like waiting for his call. Thomas tried to whisper through the tube, sounds broken. He told his wife not to worry, surgery went fine, but he felt body heating, then cooling. He spoke slower, each sentence gathering remaining strength. In his mind, then, only family images, his wife bustling with 3 kids waiting for Dad home. The wife on the other end sighed relief at good news, kept encouraging him. She promised morning she'd ask neighbors to watch the older kids, then bring the youngest to visit. Thomas listened intently, eyes half closed, faint smile, but breaths heavier. "Baby, tell the kids, their dad loves them." As the words ended, the ventilator beeped harshly. The sound dragged, piercing, cutting the call. Doctors rushed in, emergency lights on. Thomas McCall Ford slipped into coma, needing intubation to sustain life. When he hit critical, nurse called his wife again. This time, bad news. Hoped she'd come right away because Thomas might not make it. He lay still like that for 5 days. No recovery signs. Finally, family had to make the toughest decision. Life support withdrawn. Steady beeps slowed, then stopped. And Thomas McCall Ford passed at 52. 24, Woody Shaw. Oh God, it's so dark. I can't see anymore. Woody Shaw was modern jazz's trumpet genius, a bold composer with boundless creativity. He shook the pros with distinct blowing technique and sharp musical thinking. Evening of May 5, 1989, Brooklyn subway station still crowded as usual. Under faint yellow lights on the long platform, Woody Shaw groped to the payphone, his eyes blurred from retinal degeneration, only seeing vague shapes, sometimes clear, sometimes not. He dialed, and the listener was his manager, who'd been with him through ups and downs. The call lasted longer than usual. Shaw talked about upcoming show, pending contracts, thinking positive, but voice full of confusion. Then he suddenly switched, talking about eyes not obeying, obsession that soon he wouldn't even see trumpet keys. The manager reassured, said they'd find good doctors soon, wouldn't let it end in darkness. Shaw silent seconds, then voice rose sharply. Off. Oh God, it's so dark. I can't see anymore. Those were the last clear words the manager heard, after chaotic sounds. By then, Shaw had let go of the receiver. He panicked as everything went black. He flailed while staggering for direction. Disoriented, Woody Shaw accidentally fell onto the tracks. Right then, a train pulled in. His arm severed, but that didn't mean luck smiled. He was rushed in critical. Days after, Shaw bedridden, body wasting fast, facing both injury and severe kidney failure complications. On May 10, 1989, Woody Shaw passed at 39. Some believe the platform incident was accident. Others believe he gave up in despair when eyes beyond saving, career threatened, when life's and stage's light both left him. 23. Lamont Bentley. Oh, no, the car. Lamont Bentley was a familiar TV face in America, best remembered for roles in the series Moesha. He had natural charm, rare flexible improv, expected to go far in acting. Night of January 19, 2005. Around 2 a.m., Ventura County Freeway, California, sunk in dark. Sparse lanes whizzing by in long light streaks, then vanishing. Lamont Bentley behind the wheel with phone clamped to ear, voice excited mixed with fatigue after long workday. He called his closest friend in Moesha cast, Brandy Norwood. He talked non-stop about new project, upcoming chances, things finally going his way. Their chat was lively like hundreds of casual calls before. Bentley smiled bright, set coffee date next day. On the other end, Brandy laughed playfully. She reminded him to slow down, knowing his habit of speeding when hyped. Suddenly, Brandy heard a truck horn blaring into the phone, then tires screeching, tearing the night. Bentley's voice screamed, "Oh, no, the car!" Then only metal crashing into guardrail. Brandy yelled, realizing bad situation. Moment she dropped her phone, signal from other end cut. Bentley's car smashed through guardrail, plunged into deep dark off-highway, flipping multiple times down slope. Bentley's body ejected, falling straight to lower freeway where other cars sped. Last image in Bentley's eyes was flashing headlights and late brake screeches. 5 cars piled up in chain crash. On that night highway, fate skidded with the car. Bentley died on spot from multiple traumas at 31. Maybe if slower, if not distracted driving, different, but all just if. 22. Frankie Lymon. Man, I really want to sing now. Frankie Lymon was the voice that drove America crazy from his teen years. He led the teenagers, rocketing Why Do Fools Fall in Love to chart tops. But by late 60s, that glory was memory. His career nosedived, money dried, gigs sparse, some months no invites. Not just that, Frankie Lymon wrestled heroin addiction, quitting then relapsing, promising then disappointing. Still, he believed comeback possible, just one last chance. One good recording to remind the world of the kid who rocked radios across America. Afternoon, February 27, 1968, around 4 p.m., Grandma's small New York apartment filled with music. He just got a new contract invite after successful rehab, super thrilled. Frankie called old manager, who'd guided him from first recordings to child star status. His voice trembled in excitement. He said he'd tried quitting and succeeded. Said got new contract, wanted to sing Why Do Fools Fall in Love Again. Said wanted studio one more time, prove Frankie Lymon could still shine. On the other end, old manager glad for Frankie, encouraged him, promised more support if needed. Frankie joyfully ended call hyped. Man, I really want to sing now. After hanging, pumped, Frankie went to cramped bathroom, humming, whistling, pulling out a syringe. He sat on cold tile floor, relaxed against wall, letting euphoria control. He couldn't imagine after that shot, all hopes vanish. Body convulsed, then still on tile. When found, Frankie dead slumped by toilet. Syringe still in arm. Death at 25 forever closed the future he longed for. 21. Steve McNair, Baby I'll Be Home Soon. Steve McNair was one of NFL's greatest quarterbacks, Tennessee Titans icon, who took the team to Super Bowl doorstep. Respected for steel spirit and endurance. Night of July 4th, 2009. Nashville in holiday mood. Fireworks popping scattered on streets, twinkling colors through small apartment windows. But in the house where Steve McNair stayed, no lively feel. He just lounged on sofa, relaxing body, maybe too tired after hard game day. Hours before, he'd called his wife. McNair excitedly told about win right on holiday, regretted not with family tonight. Talked plans to arrange home time. On other end, wife smiled happy, said whole family waiting to celebrate. Before hanging, McNair kissed wife with sweet promise, Baby, I'll be home soon. No one expected that was last his warm voice heard. After call, McNair set phone down, lay sideways on sofa. Meanwhile, his mistress Sahel Kazemi sat not far, silently watching without word. McNair's wife unaware of Sahel, but Sahel knew McNair married. She couldn't hide jealous look seeing McNair call wife. Days before, their relationship cracked. Money pressure and jealousy weighed on Sahel. McNair's affectionate words to another woman sank Sahel's mind into deadlock. Negative thoughts piled in the young mistress's head McNair didn't notice. Around 1 a.m., as city still buzzing and McNair drifting to sleep, Kazemi quietly held a gun. Shot rang, McNair's body jerked, then still. Fatal shot, but Sahel no intent to stop. 3 more shots rapid at already dead man, all in brief seconds. McNair died on sofa. Then Sahel sat by his body, held his hand, then put gun to her head, and what came, came. Last shot boomed, her body slumped, falling into McNair's lap. Next morning, 2 bodies found side by side like doomed lovers. News reported to family right away. Steve McNair passed at 36 in mistress's mad jealousy and family's utter disappointment. 20. Clifford Brown. Baby, I'm coming home to you right now. Don't worry about anything. Clifford Brown was modern jazz's trumpet genius, talent icon with rare, clean living amid entertainment world's temptations. Night of June 26, 1956, around 11 p.m. on Pennsylvania Turnpike. Rain pouring, wind whipping glass, road slick with yellow light reflections. Clifford Brown slept in back seat, body wrecked after show. Minutes before, stopped at rest area calling wife from payphone. Told about smooth show tonight, boasted audience clapped longer than usual. Said had to shop with group, so not home right away. Told wife no need, wait dinner together. On other end, wife worried hearing rain patter into phone, reminded careful driving, if not alert hand wheel to someone else. Brown cheerfully promised firm, "Baby, I'm coming home to you right now. Don't worry about anything." After, car rolled on in whiteout rain. Richie Powell driving, hands tense from slick road. Blurry visibility hid sharp curve, no time to turn. Tires skidded long, screeching on wet pavement, body shook, then crashed through steel barrier, spinning, rolling down deep ravine. When car stopped, Clifford Brown gone on spot from injuries. 19, Irette Wilson. Girl, thank you for trying your best. Irette Wilson was beloved TV actress deep mark as Andell Wilkerson on Moesha. Night of June 14, 2012, around 11 p.m. in a Los Angeles hospital room, Irette Wilson lay flat on bed, body skinny from cervical cancer spread and kidney failure. Sensing little time left, grabbed phone calling close friend who'd set up fundraiser to save her from financial brink. Though no strength to sit, still worried about piling medical bills. Also confided wish to live more, just to keep caring for kids. On other end, friend choked, crying promising to manage more. Irette knew owed huge favor she'd never repay. Trembling tried thank like last chance. Girl, thank you for trying your best. Call closed with teary eyes, phone set on pillow. Hours later, Irette Wilson passed at 48, leaving debt burden nagging her to end. 18, Sam Cooke. Man, someone's inside. I'm scared I won't make it back. Sam Cooke was soul music legend, voice-shaking America, icon of success and creative freedom. December 11, 1964, around 2 a.m. at Hacienda Motel, Los Angeles, Sam Cooke appeared after 90 mysterious missing minutes, clothes disheveled, breathing heavy, eyes tense. Said he was going crazy trying to attack a woman, but then calm enough to stop at hallway payphone calling manager. Voice shaking broken. Told lured to motel, cash gone. Felt trapped in danger. Manager told Sam, leave immediately. Sam Cooke suddenly whispered fearful, "Man, someone's inside. I'm scared I won't make it back." After hanging, Sam cautiously entered motel office. Minutes later, gunshot tore space. Sam Cooke fell, dead at 33. 17, Albert Ayler. Bro, I gotta go now. Albert Ayler was pioneering saxophone genius, jazz breaker, extreme musical freedom icon. November 25, 1970. Around 5 p.m. on ferry dock near Liberty Island, New York, East River wind whipping cold on deck. Albert Ayler stood apart from crowd, hands empty, beside smashed saxophone. Stopped at dock payphone calling brother. Voice vague, low, then sharp, like not lucid. Rambled about daily family pressure. Twisted belief only blood sacrifice could save mom and brother. Told about strange voices in head. Brother tried advise go home, but words useless. Ayler whispered weary, "Bro, I gotta go now." Call cut sudden. Then Ayler stepped over railing, vanishing in Blackwater. 20 days later, body found floating East River, closing artist life at 34 is. 16. Florence Ballard. Girl, I'm so tired. Maybe tomorrow I won't get up. Florence Ballard founded the Supremes, voice and string of top 40 hits. February 22, 1976. Around 8 p.m., small Detroit apartment. Florence Ballard sprawled on sofa, bottle still in hand. Tipsy picked phone calling closest Supreme stage friend, Mary Wilson. Voice hoarse, speech scattered broken. Call long. Poured all frustrations. Told about tiring mornings lining for welfare. Feeling pushed out group she helped build. Dreamed to sing again even once. Mary reassured, said rest, tomorrow different. Florence sighed, voice drifting from booze. Girl, I'm so tired. Maybe tomorrow I won't get up. Mary didn't know response. After silent seconds, Florence hung sudden. Coronary thrombosis hit sudden stopping heart at 32. 15. Phyllis Hyman. Girl, I'm tired. I'm tired. God bless you all. Phyllis Hyman was diva with deep voice, conquering Apollo Theater and big stages. June 30th, 1995, around 3 p.m., quiet New York apartment, curtains drawn, dim light. Phyllis Hyman at tea table, sleeping pills scattered with suicide note. Picked phone calling closest friend, shared stages, years. Michael Henderson. Voice soft, slurred, not clear usual. Complained, long depression years, weight pressure, booze, helpless feeling, want give up. Michael panicked, advised hospital, don't alone. But Phyllis didn't listen, said, girl, I'm tired. I'm tired. God bless you all. After setting down, stared at pills 10 minutes. Phone rang non-stop. Michael sensed wrong, but couldn't save one no longer wanting life. Hours later, as Apollo show waited her, Phyllis Hyman stopped breathing from sleeping pill overdose at 45. 14. Dorothy Dandridge. Don't let my child know her mom was ever that poor. Dorothy Dandridge was cinema icon, first black woman Oscar-nominated Best Actress. September 8, 1965, around 7 p.m., small dark Hollywood apartment, Dorothy Dandridge lay in bed, body drained, mind spinning. Bank account, few dollars. Past glory gone. Felt life no hope. Wanted confide. First thought old housekeeper, cared like father. When housekeeper heard Dorothy, sensed wrong. She talked bad things, scammed investment, piling fees for disabled daughter. Hollywood forgetting her. Housekeeper promised help, believed chance still. But Dorothy didn't believe self. Messaged bitter. Don't let my child know her mom was ever that poor. Last words housekeeper heard. Hours later, Dorothy found dead at 42 from antidepressant overdose. 13. Teresa Graves. See you tomorrow. I'm sleeping now. Teresa Graves, pioneering black TV star with Get Christie Love. Screen icon, America. October 10, 2002, around 2 a.m. Los Angeles home. Bedroom pitch black. Teresa Graves, sleeping sound. Unaware fire, waiting from electrical sparks. Hours before, talked phone hour with old co-star. Chat normal. Intimate. Last words before hang, excited set. See you tomorrow. I'm sleeping now. No one expected middle night electric heater suddenly short-circuited. Sparks flew, fire burst fast, smoke-filled room. Teresa Graves suffocated asleep. No time wake escape. Firefighters broke door, she unconscious. Rushed hospital. Body couldn't take smoke heat damage. Hours later, Teresa Graves passed at 54. 12. Merlin Santana. Oh God. Merlin Santana, promising young American TV face, loved for hit roles. January 9, 2002, around 7 p.m., quiet Los Angeles road. Merlin Santana's car parked curb. He in driver's seat with friend, laughing, chatting, mood up. Dialed cell calling manager. 3 chattered about new role, upcoming schedule, future opening. Manager congrats. Set tomorrow, meet discuss script. That moment dry bang rang. Manager only heard Merlin yell, oh God, then silence. Phone still on, but only passerby screams. Merlin shot dead on spot at 26, just from 15-year-old girl's false claim and her boyfriend's blind jealousy. 11. David Ruffin. Man, I'm so tired. David Ruffin was the Temptations' lead voice, soul icon with hits shaking generations. June 1st, 1991, around noon, rundown Philadelphia house, David Ruffin curled on floor, breaths heavy. This crack hit seemed tiring, not exciting. Stepped out, staggering to nearby payphone calling closest Temptation stage friend, Eddie Kendricks. Voice trembling, broken, David admitted regret not controlling self, said still wanted back under lights, sing once more. Eddie sighed, no power to bring David back. Meanwhile, David's voice drifted more. Man, I'm so tired. Line connected, but he collapsed. Later, limo dropped him at University of Pennsylvania Hospital gate, then vanished. No name. Hour passed. David Ruffin left till died from overdose. 10. Lee Morgan. Helen, don't. Lee Morgan was jazz trumpet icon, hard bop pillar, blue note, bright face. February 1st, 1972. Around 3 a.m., Jazz Club, Slugs, New York, space stuffy smoke. Outside, blizzard covering city, wind rattling windows. Lee Morgan at backstage payphone, calling close friend Wayne Shorter complaining about fight with Helen, common law wife. Annoyed told caught cheating, said just mistake any man makes. Wayne silent, not agreeing, but couldn't cold water friend. Then, behind Morgan rapid footsteps, scream echoed, phone. Morgan panicked, yelled, "Helen, don't!" Second later, sharp gunshot cut sounds. Lee Morgan slumped floor. Thick snow paralyzed area, ambulance over hour to arrive. When they got, Morgan dead at 33. 9. Donny Hathaway's. Baby, they're here. I gotta go. Donny Hathaway was soul music icon, voice shaking America behind timeless hits. January 13th, 1979, around 11 a.m., Essex House Hotel, 15th floor, New York. Room fancy but dark, curtains tight. Donny Hathaway near removed glass window, legs shaking, head echoing whispers urging. Hand still holding bedside phone receiver. Minutes before, called wife, voice off, low, high like, talking multiple. Panicked, told wife about head voices, some conspiracy. Believed evil close, coming for him, wanting catch. On other end, wife cried, begged calm, said all imagination. But Donny no longer heard advice. Head urging voices rapid, mumbled desperate. Baby, they're here. I gotta go. Moment phone dropped floor. Donny Hathaway jumped for escape. Fell sidewalk, dead instantly at 33. 8. Minnie Riperton. Stevie, thank you. I'm going now. Minnie Riperton was diva with 5-octave range millions adored. July 12, 1979, around 10 p.m., Los Angeles Hospital. Minnie Riperton on bed, limbs immobile, mouth mumbling wordless, eyelids unopenable. Days before, when alert, called Stevie Wonder with nurse help. Voice weak but warm. Said recording Stevie made for her like thread holding her, but body at limit. On other end, Stevie silent. New time almost up. Promised Minnie their music never stop. Minnie smiled, eyes half closed, breaths faint. Stevie, thank you. I'm going now. After call, began hazy state like soul left body. Days later, quietly asked, breath in husband's arms at 31. 7. Jackie Wilson, My Heart. Jackie Wilson was soul legend, explosive voice of Lonely Teardrops, dynamic stage icon once. September 6, 1975, around 9 p.m., Latin Casino stage, Cherry Hill, lit bright. Hundreds hands clapping hot atmosphere. Minutes before, Jackie Wilson backstage, phone to ear, calling son. Voice eager about special show tonight, packed audience, plans rest after long tour. Laughed big, set weekend home with son. Suddenly paused. My heart. Moment, Jackie felt heart stop, but feeling short. Son heard worried, told monitor health careful. Jackie hummed past, thinking fine. After hanging, stepped stage, body swaying familiar rhythm. Singing, My Heart is Crying, face twisted. Yell escaped, My heart! Then collapsed mid-lights. Audience clap laughed, thinking performance climax. But real heart attack. Jackie fell hard, head hit floor. Brain severe damage. Vegetative state, lay still, 9 years in nursing home till 1984, died pneumonia at 49. 6. Red Fox. What's to fear? Elizabeth will welcome me for sure. Red Fox was Sanford and Son comedy star turned fake heart attack stage trademark. October 11, 1991, around 4 p.m., the royal family set Los Angeles lit like day. Laughter echoing studio. Red fox in makeup room corner, phone calling close friend, Dele Reese. Voice cheerful, usual, half joke, half serious. Reminded familiar fake heart attacks, said this time, continue fooling. Set dinner invite. Dele Reese suddenly warned, stop that joke, though never commented before. But Fox saw no issue, laughed. What's to fear? Elizabeth will welcome me for sure? Back set, Fox quick into scene, then clutched chest, bent, mouth said, line tied, name years. Elizabeth, I'm coming to you. Then fell floor. Whole crew clapped, laughed, thinking brilliant improv, but not acting. Real heart attack. Red fox still under lights long. When doctors arrived, confirmed dead, but producers just discussed who replace red lines. 5. Dinah Washington. Man, I'm so tired, but I'm still beautiful, right? Dinah Washington was blues queen, powerful voice, irreplaceable stage icon once. December 14, 1963, around 2 a.m., Detroit home still. Bedroom dark, stuffy booze, smoke smell. Dinah Washington alone bed, beside pillow open diet pills, sleeping pills. Before mind drifted, reached bedside, phone calling seventh husband away. Voice dreamy, like still sleepy. Call brief, just asked when home. Husband replied normal, no wrong sense. Before hanging, Dinah whispered, ask, man, I'm so tired, but I'm still beautiful, right? Husband said forever most beautiful. She no more, quietly set phone. Last pills down with booze. Night passed quiet. Next morning, husband home, entered bedroom, saw wife still. Dinah Washington, dead acute drug booze poisoning at 39. 4. Billy Buckwheat Thomas. Bye now, I'm sleeping. Don't forget the date with Buckwheat. Billy Buckwheat Thomas was Little Rascals' child star, face-tied American childhood memories. Evening, October 8, 1980, around 7 p.m., small Los Angeles home. After long film lab day, Billy Buckwheat Thomas leaned sofa, shoulders heavy. Picked phone calling, rare keeping touch old co-star. Familiar voice up, deep kind, no longer kid noise. Call long, confided quiet life after Army, avoiding sets, behind lights tech work. Said weekend want meet, just coffee chat old times, long no reunion. By then, most friends, old colleagues, no news him. Before hanging, left set. Bye now, I'm sleeping. Don't forget the date with Buckwheat. No one expected 2 days later, heart attack hit took Billy right on familiar sofa. Exactly 10 years later, 1990, Buckwheat imposter appeared. TV, forcing old co-star speak out, reveal real Buckwheat dead long. 3. Richie Powell, rain's really coming down. Richie Powell was young bebop piano genius, Bud Powell's brother, breaking through with Clifford Brown. June 26, 1956. Pennsylvania Turnpike, heavy rain pouring. Richie Powell behind wheel, hands tense. Wife beside, car lights streaking whiteout. Half hour before, roadside gas station, Richie called brother Bud Powell. Voice low, no hype of rising bebop artist. Call long, Richie complaining tour schedule too packed with rising stress. Bud shared worries with brother, reminded drive slow, careful with thickening rain, minute by minute. Richie looked window, smacked lips. Rain's really coming down. After car rolled. Richie drove careful, hands tense, careful. Yet, half hour later, car lost control, veered off highway, flipped dark. Richie Powell, wife, Clifford Brown, dead on spot. 2. Esther Roll. Child, so I'm just a bit tired. Sleep it off and I'll be fine. Esther Roll was good time star, Hollywood stereotype rebel icon, deep mark on small screen. November 17, 1998, just 10 days after 78th birthday, around 8 p.m. in California end-of-life facility room, Esther Roll on bed, body fully drained after days battling diabetes complications. Hand light shake picking bedside phone. Other end, closest niece. Voice weak but warm clear. Esther asked home situation, then spoke pride living her way, though paid with loneliness. Told niece keep health, don't forget her. On other end, tears burst. Niece realized likely last call. Esther smiled, gentle comfort niece. Child, I'm just a bit tired. Sleep it off, and I'll be fine. After setting phone, Esther rolled truly slept, peaceful sleep forever. 1. Tammy Terrell. Marvin, I'm going now. You gotta keep singing. Your precious love. For me, okay. Tammy Terrell was perfect duet icon with Marvin Gaye, young blazing American soul voice. March 16, 1970. Around 10 a.m., Philadelphia Hospital. Tammy Terrell lay quiet bed after failed 8th brain surgery. Body visibly thin, breaths broken, hands trembling, touch bedside phone. Before deep coma, tried call Marvin Gaye. 2 said little. Tammy too weak, talk much. Marvin too heartbroken, speak. Feared opening mouth, first out cry. After minutes, Tammy finally spoke, but goodbye. Marvin, I'm going now. You gotta keep singing. Your precious love. For me, okay. Marvin's cry, no hold, agreed sobbing. Tammy content hung that afternoon, last breath from brain tumor at 24, leaving dark void Marvin Gaye's life. Some calls end with sighs and tears. Some calls stop sudden from gunshots, metal crashes, screams. If the stories I just told make you realize life's fragility, leave a comment below to share your thoughts. Tell us which call haunts you most. And if you want more little-known stories from entertainment behind the scenes, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.